morning, everybody. It's Rob Moffat. Guys, can't believe it. The year's almost over. I was looking at my Amazon and saw how many purchases I've made during the year. It's close to 100. I thought it would be fun video to show the items that I purchased that were the best out of all the ones that I purchased. Things that I'd recommend, I use daily, and that I think are a bargain or good value. Almost all of them are just a few dollars. Um, the first one, it's kind of funny. I have almost 800 videos, been doing it for 12 years. One of my earlier videos was on how to get rid of bugs, uh, roaches, ants, mosquitoes. I made videos on how to make mosquito fan traps and things to make to get rid of bugs. But when it came to the ants, I couldn't find anything that was as good as taro. And I just recommended in the video that people purchase taro because it was only a few dollars. And for you to make it, first of all, taro is pretty much non-toxic. It's made with basically borax, sodium tetraborate decahydrate. It's borax. It's not boric acid. It's borax. But a big box that costs $6, $7. So you would it cost more to make it. I know a lot of things we do on my channel you make because it's fun. Where you could make your own ant poison. I could show you how, but it wouldn't be as effective and inexpensive and get rid of ants. Ants are more difficult to get rid of than roaches or mosquitoes. I have excellent videos on how to make things for them, but for the ants, I said buy some taro, and people got so mad. That's my most hated video in 8 years or 12 years, 800 videos. The one I made about taro, but I recommend people if they have ants, try taro. It's very inexpensive, and they've been doing it for a long time, and it works really good. I came down with some ants in my house, and this was a simple, easy way to get rid of them. Also, if you do use it and the ants come back, oftentimes the ants will have eggs. So the ants that were killed, uh, the eggs are still being hatched, so you may get more ants. So you don't want to put away the poison until you go through all the eggs that are going to be hatching in a short while. They also have different nests sometimes, so it may not all be in the same place. Ants are difficult. The next thing is I have an old tank Brita water filter I've been using for years and years and years. But I had it next to the stove and the heat cracked the plastic and it started leaking and there was really no good way to fix it. So I went online and they don't have the old one anymore. This is the only tank one they have. It doesn't hold quite as much in the part where you add the water to be filtered, but it holds pretty much the same amount volume, a little over 1 gallon. It comes with standard Brita filters that filter, I think, zinc, copper, I think it's cadmium and chlorine. It doesn't filter out lead, but I looked up online. You can find out what your water utility has a problem with and which things are going to be in your water you want to focus on. And in my area, lead isn't a problem. So, but if you do have lead, that you can purchase much larger filters by Brita that will fit in these filters that last a lot longer and will filter out lead. They do sometimes filter the water much slowly though, but lead was an issue for me. So this was I read I always read the reviews on Amazon. A lot of people didn't like this filter because they said they would get stuck. This part when they want to clean it, it wouldn't come out, and they would use pliers. This is actually kind of fragile plastic. You don't want to use tools on this. You just use hot soapy water if it's sticking. And if that doesn't work, you could add water in here and turn it upside down, and the pressure of the water would pop it out. Um, Also, someone said they dropped theirs and they were very angry because the nozzle broke. Well, they even took photos. That's like if I dropped some eggs on the floor and oh look, these eggs broke. Don't buy these eggs. I dropped them on the floor. Well, this isn't stainless steel. This is thin acrylic plastic. So um, I find the Brita works out pretty good. Some of the others may filter a little bit better, but I read the reviews and a lot of them said that after a while the water started smelling like fishy and unpleasant odor and taste. So I've been happy with the Brita. I basically get it so I can let it sit and then get rid of the chlorine. They're testing the fire alarms in my building. What a great time to test fire alarms. Let's go on to the next one. These, talking of alarms, I have a lot of issues in my building with water. It's an old building, pipes are starting to break. And I purchased these. Someone in the reviews mentioned that you can add like weights, like two dead batteries to the little part here that sits on the ground. That way it doesn't get turned upside down because they're very lightweight. Also, they put a piece of uh, paper towel on the bottom, which increases the absorption of water quickly, and you will get an alarm much quicker before the water level rises to the level of the metal part where it sets off the alarm. I made a video on that, so you can go watch it. These have been, I think, three of them for 17, 18 bucks. It's a very good bargain. This is something because I'm focusing on becoming a better sleeper. I still have some of my best sleeping years left. I hope they make sleep a senior Olympic event. I can I can enroll and become an Olympic athlete in sleeping. All kidding aside, I'm going to put a video out. I think maybe next week, like 29 ways to sleep better. I've been focusing really hard. I used to sleep 4.5 to maybe at the most 6 hours every night, which wasn't good. And because I had my AFib, I want to make sure it doesn't come back. One thing that hurts your heart is your bad sleep. So I tried about 20 some different ways. I have a video next week, I think, 29 different ways to become a better sleeper. And I've worked on almost 29 of them. And this is one of the better ones, inexpensive. This is curved so it doesn't press down on your eye and you don't have pressure. Also, you can open up your eye and it's not rubbing against the cloth. And I didn't have any trouble with light seeping underneath this part where I did with another one. This is the least expensive one. They have some that are a little more expensive. These may not last as long, but for my purpose, they're fine. I've been very happy. One of the best things you can do for sleep. This is also something good for sleep. I made a video on this. It's a radio, but it's also a recorded voice. It will record MP3s, and you can download MP3s. I shouldn't say it records MP3s. It'll record. It record. I guess it does record. It'll record off your radio, and will save them. I guess it saves them as MP3s, but you can also download MP3s from other sources and transfer them. I've got over 1,000 songs now on this. But anyway, what I do is for sleeping, I have some ambient music that plays for like an hour. With this radio, you can plug in time, how long you want the sound or music to play before it shuts off. And I turn it on for 40 minutes, then it shuts off. You can also shuffle. If you have, like I do, 1,000 songs, you can add a function where it'll shuffle through different songs randomly, and which is kind of fun because you don't know what's going to pop up next. It's been a very pleasant. I purchased these. I think I bought several to give as gifts, and I was paying like 18 bucks. I've also seen them where they were like a one-day deal where you could get two of them for 24 bucks. Excuse me. Right now they're kind of high, but they're still a good bargain for $24.99. Some of the features, I made a video on this radio too. Some of the features are clunky, and I haven't been able to get them to work as well as I would hope. Also, the radio stations, these you don't have a dial. You just push the buttons and it starts scrolling through, and I don't seem to be able to get the stations I want. If I know the number, I can plug in digitally, but if you're just scrolling past, it's kind of hard to find them. I basically use it for the MP3s and the sleep function. Oh, by the way, the shortwave function was almost useless. These for $10.99. It comes with a power supply and a dimmer switch. I've basically transformed the lighting in my kitchen counter, and I'm going to be using it in some other areas of the house. Very inexpensive lighting. Works great. This is something I was debating whether I should put on because I like it so much I don't want the price to rise. And I see right now they're currently unavailable. But I like these for health reasons. I've been reading so many things about berries, particularly blueberries, for your blood pressure, for your memory, for so many different things. And what I do is I put just a handful in some water at night, and I add a little bit of protein powder and some psyllium husk seeds for fiber. In the morning, I mix it up with the hand stick blender, make like a little shake. It's a delicious thing to have in the morning, and I get all the fresh blueberry goodness that comes. And this bag will last me about 2.5 months, and I get 2 boxes at one time. But they don't have them available right now. I hope I'm not um, causing me to not get these in the future by too many people buying them. This is something else. I usually take fish oil pills. They cost me like 30 bucks a month. I just switched to this. It's cod liver oil. You shake it up really strong. There's almost no fishy taste. I recommend it highly. You get 3 bottles for $32. One bottle lasts me about 2 or 3 months. A teaspoon a day. This is something. I've become retired now. I don't have a steady income. I just basically have my Social Security and whatever I make in side hustle, side jobs. So it's important to be very cautious and prudent with my money. I've always been prudent. I grew up poor. I knew how to always buy the cheapest and buy the less and make do and so on. So I really was always resentful about having a budget. I never used one because I didn't want someone telling me I couldn't buy anything, even if it was a piece of paper. You have a budget, you can't go over, whatever. And so I always stayed away from budgets because to me it was like a break. It told me I couldn't do something, and I already knew I couldn't do something. I didn't want something else. So I just like flew by the seat of my pants. I just at the end of the year I was ahead. I was fine, but that was a terrible way. The thing about this budget book is it isn't a break. What it is, it's an odometer, and it tells you how far you're going, and a speedometer tells you how fast you're going and your spending. The key to this is it's a tracker of your expenses, a tracker of what you're spending things on and how fast you're spending each month. So if you expect to spend every month a certain amount on a certain thing, let's say medical care, let's say you put in a certain amount every month. If you start seeing every month your budget is not being met and you're going way over that monthly budget for your medical care, then you tell yourself you either need to change your budget, increase your income, or try to find ways to you can reduce your expenses in that area. It's a wonderful tool to help you gain an accurate picture of exactly what you're doing with your money and get a jump on it instead of waiting at the end of the year when you do your taxes. This is I think been one of the best things I've bought. A lot of people, this is ancient. People use nowadays everything online. They have really amazing tracking programs and budgeting programs you can get online. But the problem with them, they are online. People could maybe hack your system and find out everything. They are often linked to your bank, your savings, your checking, and so on, which it should be. But then you have to worry about people getting into your bank, getting into your savings and everything. It just I didn't want it online. I wanted it on a piece of paper right in front of me. If the computer goes down, I still have a pencil with an eraser. I can do it on my own with a calculator. And it's maybe a dinosaur, but it works for me. I don't have a very complicated, sophisticated life when it comes to expenses. So it's been a blessing to see exactly where I'm headed, where I'm going, and I'm going to be putting a video out, I think in about a month, about how much it costs me to live in Florida every year. You'd be surprised at how little it costs. And this budget and a tracking system has really helped me with that to determine. All right, enough about that. I can't recommend this more highly. You do not have to buy these on Amazon. You can get them at any business store like Office Depot and so on. This is something I use on my car, Meguiar's. I think it's the best liquid wax you can get. You can even put this on in the sun. I wish I had known how easy it was to use. I would have been waxing my car for years. Also, Meguiar's has a regular wash and wax liquid you put on your car when you wash it. I wash my car like every 10 days, 3 times a month, and it's so easy. I wish I had known how quickly and easy it was to wash and maintain the paint on your car. Since I've repainted my car, I wanted to really take care of it, and I've been using McGuire's. I can't recommend it more highly. You don't have to buy these on Amazon. I purchased peas because I was reading a book on how different things you can do to improve your life for your health. And the doctor said one of the best things you can do is increase the amount of greens you have in your diet. And I switched from beans to eating peas, and I add a lot of greens into the peas. I made a video on it, how to make pea soup like in 20 minutes in a pressure cooker. I make a big pot, and then I put it, like part of it in the freezer and part of it in the refrigerator, and I have a big bowl of pea soup with vegetables every day. There's no meat in it, just vegetables, mushrooms, spices, onions, peppers, uh, pot peppers, red peppers, uh, onions, celery, collard greens, mustard greens, kale, and take the stick blender and blend it all up after it's done, make it creamy. It's delicious. I have it every day. So you don't have to get these. I was getting these, they were like $1 a bag, which was cheaper than Walmart. I would buy a dozen of them at a time. But it's one of the better things I bought. Initially I bought, there's a really gourmet split pea soup, or beans on Amazon. I forgot the name. They come in a burlap bag, but they're like $3 a pound. But they're delicious. They're even better than these. This has been a fun little toy that can possibly a self-defense item. It uses CO2. I've done several videos on this. I've added lasers to the side of the pistol where I can shoot at 15 feet like a target, like size of a golf ball, and just use a laser. Don't even have to sight. Just put the lights on the target and just pull the trigger 15 times. Go bam, 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 right on target. It's a wonderful little gadget, a little toy. It's made in Japan mostly. A lot of it's metal. It's for $20. I don't see how they can do it. It's long lasting. You put the BBs in the top, you can see how many are there. If you use a soft target, you can reuse the BBs. The CO2 cartridge, you get like 90 or 100 shots. It's a wonderful little gadget for 20 bucks. I recommend everyone have it in their home. It's a fun thing to toy around with, but it also comes in handy for other things. Okay, this is the Dragon Naturally Speaking. It's a program that will allow you to record your talk, your speech, in a digital audio recording device, and then plug it into your computer, and then Dragon will be able to transfer your speech that you used away from the computer and put it into text. This is an older version. It works very good. Some of the newer versions still have kind of bugs, if you ask me, and they stopped making 13. I think they're up like, what is it, 15 or 16 now? But this premium version will allow you to record narration away from the computer with an audio device, and then download it as a audio file in your computer, and then use Dragon to transfer it. And if once you train your Dragon to recognize your voice, you can get to where you're like 98% accurate pretty easily with a good microphone. I've done several videos on this program. I like it a lot. This is the last item. It wasn't this year. It was from back in 2016. I thought I should mention this. This is something I use every day, almost every day. It's just a little mini trampoline. I'm going to add some plastic PVC pipes to the side to where if I start wanting to jump higher, I could have something to hold if I start to fall. But I normally don't jump. I just normally bounce. And a few times I was in the hospital and I came out. I knew I needed to exercise, but I couldn't walk long distances, so I didn't want to be away from home. But I needed to do something, and I was able to get on this and just turn on the computer and watch YouTube videos and just kind of bounce slowly over like a half an hour and get the juices flowing, get the lymph system working. It's a really handy, I don't ever use these handles. It's a really handy little gadget. It folds up against your wall. I've done a video on this, but I thought I'd mention this. This is something I'm still using. It's still going strong after way back in 2016. And I think I paid 31 bucks for mine. So guys, I think that's it for the top items that I purchased this year, 2019, which is almost over. I'll leave links in the video description. Amazon throws me through pennies if you buy, but if you buy, well, if you use those links and go onto Amazon and buy anything, they throw me a few pennies. So you don't have to buy just what you see here. And if you don't like Amazon or you want to find cheaper places, you go ahead and look on eBay. A lot of times you'll have exact same items at a lower price. So guys, hope this is something interesting to you. I would be interested if you would tell me what are the things that you bought this year, not necessarily on Amazon, but things that really were helpful to you, that were you would recommend and you use a lot and you buy again. And so that's it, guys. Don't buy too many of my blueberries, please. All right, take care. See you out there.